Strike a match, light a fire. October 11th, 2024. I don't think I've dated anything recently. Or anybody for that matter. Come on. There we go. Alright, let's get set up here. Let's walk forward just a hair. There we go. Styling green boots, yes. And 3, 2, 1. Hi-ho, it's GrampyJAG here, and we're having another fine day. No, you don't like that one? Let's try it again. 3, 2, 1. Hey-ho, GrampyJAG, yeah. We got another day going on here at the reactor. What do you think? Cool, isn't it? And look at all them red glowy things over there. It's ready to turn on. But let me tell you a story. See, I'm going to switch back into my regular voice because that's just taking too long. What happened? What's going on? Yeah, well, some of the things went very, very smoothly with this build. Some of the things did not, which is pretty much typical. So, let me get turned around so I can look at the normal way. You'll notice I now have a platform up here. I have glowy lines everywhere. Isn't that cool? I have a box with switch and wiring. Yay. So, what happened? What happened? We got our little platform built. We got our gas systems all built. So this is the tritium setup. Wow. That was unexpected. It used all the tritium I had in storage. That's not good. We got deuterium going over here. So that took a while to work out all the orientations and stuff because, yeah, it's Mekanism. I built a dual line. This is a direct feed line, which also fills this backup feed line. These are gas tanks. So if, for some chance, we were to run low on tritium or deuterium production long enough to clean this pipe out, we got enough time with these tanks running to give us a little bit of a buffer. And that's like 12 million buckets, something like that. 12 million millibuckets, so I guess 120 or 12, I don't know, I got to do the math again. I'm still recovering in case you hadn't figured that out. So it turns out not only was it a virus, I had an infestation of bad gut bacteria. So don't wish this on anybody. In any case, gas lines run up into the top, they fill. This is our little machine for making the DT fuel for the holorams. The holoram, when it's filled, goes in the fusion reactor, like so. Or holoram, however you say that. I tried boosting the energy to get the laser ignition system to top off faster. It takes about 4 hours. Them lines, the connections don't matter. It's these guys. This is the problem. So if I wanted this to go faster, I would have to extend this. So 5 gets you 4 hours, 10 would get you 2 hours. And if I went and put 20, I'd be way the heck out here. But I could get it down to a 1 hour charge. I just back off a bit to look how silly that looks. Yeah, so we're talking about right over here, like close to the edge of the waterish or into the sand. That's how long that would be. And I haven't encased this yet. I was waiting to see just how big the build got. By the way, talking about how big the build got, if you recall, or maybe you don't, I don't know if I covered that or not. The interface I built between the induction matrix and the power line did not work. It failed. I may have covered this. But the extra utilities power system and the mechanism power lines, even though they show they connect, they don't actually transmit any power between them. So digging, figuring I was going to have to go with a much lower. Oh, good. This is perfect timing. Sun's going down. You don't hear me say that much. But digging and figuring out the quantum entangler are a much better, much more efficient option. They can take as much energy as you can throw at them. They can transmit it instantaneously. And no power lines. They'll do it through this entire dimension without a problem. And I think it actually does it cross-dimensionally like RF Tools does. If I remember right. I may not remember right, but it makes it easy, because you see now I have an entangler over here. We're just going to call them a QE. I have a QE cube on the end of this powering this that is being powered off the main base's central induction matrix. So the power gets here not a problem. It's just converting the power into laser power. So this is what we're going to do. This is the grand switch. We are going to flip this baby on and see if we can light her up. So everybody want to give us a countdown? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and we have ignition. There it is, boys and girls. We are now generating power. Let's go see what we're doing. We're on minimal settings. Fuel. I don't know why it's showing no fuel. Ignition temperature, plasma temperature, casing temperature, passive generation, 200 KRF per tick. So we're not getting a whole lot out on this setting, but it's constant, 200 KRF. And if you remember with the turbines over here, we're only getting 12. So let's see how we're. Let me on. I gotta get on. There we go. Get on the granite. Oh, I'm so terrible at flying. All right, so this actually shows us as getting 444-ish KRF input. Receiving, outputting. Why are we not outputting? So this is why we do these fire tests. Because we don't have these set for some reason. Okay, all in. I just don't have, the, oh, that's laser. We don't want laser. We want that one set. Set. Okay, we are set to 585, so why are we not sending power? Because it was sending power in the tests. So let's check out over at the base, see what's happening there. I really got to find a way to speed up flying. Yeah, so when they did the last upgrade of the server here, for some reason you cannot put fast flying. It won't take the sprint command. So I just get to walk everywhere in the air, which ain't bad. I mean, I can do diagonals, but it'd be nice if I could sprint too. Like I say, not the best jetpack I've ever had. Simply jetpacks, even iron jetpacks, is better than mechanism jetpacks. If for no reason, then they use. I wonder if I reconnected these. I had to move these earlier. These entangle or the border thingus. These guys up here. All right, first. Oh, it's getting here. 483 as opposed to 36. Oops. So even though it's not reading as doing it, it is working. It's not reading an output, but it is reading an input. So you may have noticed this is a tad larger now, and it's got a tad different color. These are all ultimates in here. So our total power that we can have is 6.34 trillion redstone flux. And our input is currently 467. And I wonder if that's, I don't know if that's on the, it's probably on the rate of burn on the reactor, but it could also be limited by these. I have 9 going out, I only have 4 coming in. It seems to be handling things without a problem, but it's nowhere near the 1 million per that we should be able to handle. So I should be able to receive 4 million, I should be able to output 9 million at this point. Let's go crank up the power a little bit and see where that lands us. We'll push it up to feed rate of 10, since we're currently at 2. Now mind you, this is just the direct energy coming off. This can also be rigged to run a turbine. I think for our purposes right now, direct power is going to be more than sufficient. So let's go see, we're already, wait, I got this, oh, I forgot to turn it off. I turned you off. There we go. Yeah, that'll start charging for the next time I light this up. Heat. Yeah, we're getting a lot, well, not really. 154-ish. Not a lot of heat. Case is at 102-ish. I don't know what these actually wind up being yet. Fuel, just a slight drain. I don't know why I keep doing that. Statistics are the same. I don't know why I keep doing that. Okay, let's do the fuel rate. Let's pump this up to 10. There we go. And that did put a little bump in the tritium and deuterium. Let's see what the other stats have done. Big jump in heat and power and passive generation. If we went with the, or that is what we're doing. If we went with the steam production, that's how much steam. It doesn't tell us the power we get out of the turbine because we don't know the size of the turbine. All right, let's go down to the induction matrix and see where we're sitting with that. All right, that bumped us up to 590 and growing. That's input. That is not storage. It is not storing anything. And it is still growing. So this is going to take a few minutes to top out. But we might get our million, it looks like. Let's go over and check out at the base. Being mindful of our hydrogen in our tank. Still got plenty. So this is going to be pretty good. If we can get a million out, that's going to be more than enough power for our base and probably the rest of the colonies out there. So my thought is, if I can get an entangle or possibly a baby induction matrix out to each of the other colonies, nobody will have to worry about power anymore. Yay. And they can all focus on building their little railroad collections. Never had a whole lot of interest in trains and railroads, but definitely do with the engineering aspects here. So if what I do can make it easier for everybody else, yay. Oh yeah, we got 1 million RF coming in per tick. So that's 20 million per second, and that's 20 times 60, 120 million per minute. Yeah, that ain't right. Again, math not my strong suit after this little problem we had. So we got 20 per second times 60 seconds equals 1,200 million, or looks like 1.2 billion, something like that. Yeah. 1.2. Wow. That's a lot in a minute. Thank God we got a trillion in here. We're not in giga, we're in trillion. Okay. We're going to let that run for a few minutes, and we're going to call this test good. So you have now seen a fusion reactor get lit and in action. I don't want to crank it up too high. I don't want to blow it up. I don't know if it can blow up. I don't think it can. I was told it couldn't. But I don't know if there's something else like meltdown. Yeah. Good thing I got the bouncy boots on. There we go. I tell you, the bouncy boots have saved my life in some ways, and in other ways, I mean, that stairway, I keep banging my head or something. It still keeps giving me damage. Well, I'll do something real fun. Let's crank this up to 50 and see what happens. This is, okay, that's just regular. Why won't it give me the current? Oh, it says 5 million. It gives me 5 million. Oh, that's minimum injection. Blah, 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 blah. So 5 million RF per tick. There it goes. Now it's picking it up. Took a second. Yeah, so it's pushing up to 5 million per tick. So if that's at 50%, we should be able to get 10 million out if we run it full blast. Question is, will the fuel last? I got to check on that here on the next run out. Heck, we'll just check it now because I know that it's transferring right. See if I'm starting to get any losses. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. So slow. So slow. Oh, no. System seems to be keeping up. Oh, yeah, that's right. Tritium and deuterium are both holding. Well, I may have built this better than I thought I did. All right, let's run a real stress test. It won't let me go over 100. Okay. Won't let me do that. So 99 it is. There we go. Well, that ain't bad. It's still sipping along there on the fuel. Oh, I forgot to check the rate. Yep, we got fuel statistics. Yeah, 9.8. It won't quite give me 10 million. Heat. Oh yeah, heat is maxed out. I'm not certain what these two are. Look at that guy spin. Yeah, that'll mess you up if you have seizures. See how we're doing on gas now. See if that started putting a dent. Probably wouldn't have to worry about it till the main line goes clear, but nope, we're still holding. I guess we are going to take a break, let this run, and see if it runs into any issues with fuel, if I can burn this guy out or not. So, catch you later. Let you know how we do on this. Bye.